So what happens on occasion is that you'll you unwrap a penny roll, and the pennies will be dirty. And it's always a little bit of a bummer when that happens. When a lot of the pennies are dirty, corroded, have gook on them. And that was the case in the previous episode. What was it? 427. So let's see what happens today during episode 428. Hopefully that's not the case. It's really odd, to run across a penny roll like that. All right, nice 2011 D on top. All right, we got some copper in here. That's good. One of them looks really extra thick. Oh, look at this. Our first coin that I picked up is an 82D. It's copper. It's a large date. If that was the small date, I would have struck it. Well, I don't know about rich, but probably in this condition, if that was a 82 Denver small date, it'd be about, just speculating, okay? Don't kill me in the comments, but probably about 200,000. Easy on a bad day. All right, so that's a nice find. Look at all the copper. You can see all the copper there. That's great. That's really what you want. You want to see all that copper. It's pretty corroded. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Okay. No white AM. All right. We got a zinc and we got a copper, a couple coppers. How you guys feeling out there about the discontinuation of the US penny? I did a series on it, mostly to talk about, what it means to me personally, what it means to the US on a more of a macro topic. Is that post mint damage? Look above Lincoln there. Look how perfect it is between the columns. I have to look at that under the loop. There is something odd about this coin. I feel it off the jump. How about the AM? No, not white AM. That would have been nice. Let me look at that line above Lincoln. It's very odd. It looks like a scratch, man, but it starts and ends. It's not a scratch. It's got to be some post mint damage. But when I look at it sideways, it reflects off the line, and it does make it look like a scratch. But I doubt if it is, because it's only in between the columns. Unfortunately, it's probably not valuable. Yeah, so I did a misaligned die. I did 4 videos on it, and that was really my the maximum amount I wanted to discuss it ad nauseum. There was a few videos before this one, so if you what is this 528? Let me see. It's there it goes. It's 5 part 5. It's 520 to 523. So if you just type 520, 21, 22, 23 into the search bar. You can watch those videos if you haven't seen them yet. That's a nice look. At least we got a nice looking penny there. This one that we found before is, I don't even know what that is. Asphalt. What's this one here? Oh, what's that doing there? It's a zig cent. I mean, maybe if you don't penny roll hunt, then it really doesn't even matter to you. Look how the line there moved all the letters around. Is that crazy? But it will affect everybody in the country in the sense, in the one very small sense of the word sense, is that we won't be using pennies anymore for purchases. Now, how many people carry pennies in their pocket or a change purse? Probably very few at this point in time. You know, there are probably not many people who are walking around with pennies in their pocket to buy something. Oh wow, what a beauty, a 72S. I gotta look up the minting on that one. Let me go to one of the videos. In the videos in the description, I have a bunch of references. One of them is U.S. penny mintage numbers, and I mean, I hardly ever find an S. 72S. Let's see what it says. If it's under if it's under 300 million, it's low. It's 376 million. 72 at not the proof. That's the proof. Only 3 million. That's the San Francisco non-proof. 376 million. It's low. And it's in great condition outside those little marks there, which I don't know what that is. But what a great find this is. And the color is absolutely tremendous. That S is beautiful. Maybe I'll use this for the thumbnail. It's just such an attractive coin. I took a picture of it. I wonder what it look at that edge. Wow, what a beast. I gotta weigh this too. There's something about it's just when you find that extra thickness and the color's a little weird, you gotta weigh it. You don't have to, but I hardly weigh anything. But if it's out of something that's out of tolerance, which this isn't, 3.1 on the nose, it's perfect. All right, well, that's a great penny to find. That's a $1 penny. And that's really all I'm hoping to do is to string those, it's a 99. I didn't check for the white AM. The white AM. You want to, the copper pennies are going to be worth a nickel soon or 10 cents. So, rolls of pennies are going to be, $2, $3, $4, $5, $6. Maybe if you put them in, if you look at the edge. Look at the edge. I just want to make sure that that wasn't like letters or something. It could be, but it's a little weak. No big deal. You know, like if you had a roll, if you were look how strong the strike is on this. Would have been nice. Too bad about that corrosion there. Ruined it. Too bad. A lot of copper, huh? 62. Yeah. So if you've been penny roll hunting for years and years and years, and you've been saving your copper, you know, I mean, people have probably been talking about it forever. Copper, yeah, your copper's gonna be worth money one day. Yeah, yeah, 100 years from now, when you're dead, you're gonna be worth. You know, I mean, kind of stupid, you know. But it's funny that with I mean, if you're much older, this means you would think it would mean more. I would think it means less because you know it's like all right. But if you've been penny if you're middle age or younger and you've been penny roll hunting for a few years or 10 years or 20 years, you know you're going to be young enough to remember spending coins, and also young enough that maybe you have a collection to do something with. You know what I mean? I mean, yeah, I mean, you know, you can't take it with you, you know. Can't take it with you. You know, maybe you can make a few $100 off your what you got, you know. Well, no, you never know what's going to happen. You just don't know. We're going to know soon. That's the thing. That's the cool part about all this. We're going to know soon enough. Soon enough, we're going to know what's going on with U.S. pennies. First, they're going to stop making them, right? In another next year, another 6, 7, 8 months. If they even make 2020, I would not surprise me at all if they don't even make 2026 pennies. It would not surprise me at all. It's a beauty. That's the yeah, that's a nice edge too. It would not surprise me that they just said that they're gonna discontinue it at some point, just so that they. That's just to, you know, stab the uh, the excitement or rush to get. You know, I mean, like they're just trying to avoid any whatever. You know what I'm saying? But it would not surprise me if they don't even make 2026 pennies at all. Would not surprise me in the least bit. Hmm. It's not really L on rim. It's more like, you know, some people would probably call that L on rim. It's really not. I have to look at that G under the loop to make sure it's not a flared G. I can't tell. There's a little bit of dark stuff there, you know, like dirt or whatever. No, I don't think so. Staff. You know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna stab. What's it? Stab the flow. You redirect. Slow down. Impede. Anyway, a lot of copper. A lot of copper. Lot of copper. Oh, 2017. How do you find these anymore? What's that there on the edge? Rim. Die dent. Oh, we got 2017. Stav the flow. Am I saying it right? I gotta look that word up. Uh, Stav. When you is it STAV? What is the meaning of staff? Stave, stav the flow. It's not what I recognize first. Stab refers to martial art of no. When you stab the, oh my god, is it stave? Let me see. Let me put an E. Am I thinking of the word stem the flow? I thought there was another word. Stab is a narrow strip of wood. Stem? Was I thinking of the word stem the flow? I wasn't. I thought there was another word. And to break in a stave or staves. I stab a casket. Stave. Oh, meaning what? The meaning of stave, and then I'll look for adjectives or staff. Oh, staff is the rhythm. Another term for staff. Stave is another. Oh, it's a musical instrument. I don't know, man. This is weird. Stave. Meaning of stave. What's the other one? I have to click it. Sometimes they'll give you the stave. To smash a hole, to crush, to break inward, to stave, to break in staves, to thrust away. Right, to stave. Okay, all right, man. I thought it's just not very. It's not a very popular phrase. To stave, right? It's to thrust, to drive away, to become stove in, used of a boat or ship. To stave, man. Like, can't you stave a disease or something like that? Stave, a pole carrying, supporting. Man, does stave mean to avoid? Here it goes. Definition of stave: to stave off. Okay, right. That's a man. Wow, English is really complicated, huh? I mean, I guess people just don't use complicated anyway. Prevent the occurrence of, to prevent something from happening. To stave, to avoid, to avert. Okay, wow. I was like, I think I know. You know, I don't read too much anymore. I used to read a lot. You know, I only got over 200 college credits. I mean, I've done a lot of reading in my lifetime, and I've read a lot of words. To stave off, it is stave. So it's not staff or stab, it's stave. To stave off. STAVE. To avoid, to avert, to deflect, to fend off, to forefend, to head off, to ward. Ward off. Oh boy, I tell you. Oh wow. Oh wait. Is it offset? Is it rotated? Let me see. No. If it is, it's slightly rotated. Very slightly. Stave. To ward. Stave off. To ward off. Stave. And the English language is if you don't read a lot, there's a lot of words that will um, confuse you if you've never seen before. Stave is one of them. It has a lot of different meanings, but the way I always remember it used is to ward off, to stave off, to defend, to deflect. I haven't used it in that sense in a while. I think this is our last copper penny. What's that? It's a little too bad. Just stave off. Yeah, so wow, we got a lot of copper in this penny roll, not for nothing. I'll show it to you at the end. I know I spent a little too much time on the English lit vocabulary. Hey, we got a 2009. I haven't found one of these, I think, in about 20 rolls. I'm relatively sure people are keeping them. All right, how much copper do we find today? So we have a couple down here, right? So we got 1, 2. Is that copper too? 3. So we have 3 down here that were interesting. And then, wow, not for nothing. Look at this. So we have 3, 5, 10, 15, 18 copper pennies. You double that, that's 36% copper. And I think, in part, that's what I was talking about or referring to during the video is that, finding 36% copper in 2025 from a penny roll is absolutely astounding. It's amazing. It's very high. And that's going to be it, man. What you got, you got. Whatever you got, when they stop producing pennies, first of all, the bank, my understanding is the bank will still deal with pennies for a short while, meaning it's not going to be just like, oh, that's it. The penny disappeared like we never heard of it before. So my understanding is that for a certain amount of time, it could be for the whole of 2026, it could be for 2 years, but that you will still be able to get. I don't understand how they're going to do that. Of course, they're going to accept pennies. I know they might do that for years. So the question is, will they give you what they got? Give me what you got. Whoa. Dun, 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 dun. What was that? Expose? That was a great song. One of those. Cover girls. So will they give it to you if they have it? See, and my thing is this. If the penny is gone, I think banks are going to be given directives not to put pennies back into circulation. That doesn't make any sense, right? They'll take pennies from you to destroy them. I cannot see them taking pennies. And then when you come in, hey, do you have any pennies? Yeah, we don't use them anymore, but we're holding them here just for you. I don't see that happening. I can't see it. Doesn't make any. Why would a bank put coins back into circulation that are unusable? So I really believe whatever 2026 is going to be a tumultuous turmoil. How do you say that? Tumultuous? Tur. Chillus? Chillus? Did I say it right? Term, tumultuous. Tumultuous. All right. Yeah, I guess so. How's this? Hey.
Tumultuous.
Another good word.
Tumultuous. Tumultuous.
Okay, so there's no R. Okay, so I was going tur. There's no R. There's no, it's not, it's tu. Tumultuous. No R. Tumultuous. Tumult. To excite. So it's going to be a tumultuous year of 2026, or it's just going to be a whiff. It's just going to be done. 2026 will start. Pennies are over. What you bring, you can't get, and it's done. The only question is there going to be turmoil? Like, are you going to be able to bring them, still get them? Are they going to make some pennies for 2026 and begin? Like that? Those are the question marks. It could just end, and 2026 comes. They didn't make any more pennies. They're not giving whatever you bring, you can't get, and then that's it. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. Once they say you cannot get pennies from the bank anymore, it's a wrap. That means you have to buy them on the secondary market. You're going to see prices sky. They're already going up. I save searches for sold pennies and penny errors, and the 1950. I remember about 3 years ago, you were able to get the 1955 double die for about $300, and good examples now are $3,000. So there's something going on. Anyway, so I made this video a little bit longer than it needed to be. I spoke about some things that were unrelated, and I hope you enjoyed the video. The two words, it's like Sesame. This is like Sesame Street, you know. The word of the day. We had two words of the day: stave, which means to ward, which means to avert, deflect, and tumultuous, no R. Right. So there is a word called turmoil. I think that's where I was and turbulence, but tumult, a tumult, and turmoil, even though there's some similarities, they're not the same. Tumultuous, and turmoil, two different words. All right, thank you. God bless. Reading is fundamental. When I was young, I was borderline illiterate. I'm not going to point fingers, but I had a problem reading, and I really, didn't get much assistance. I started reading books. I read my first book when I was 12. It took me about 6 months to read it. The Hobbit, which was advanced reading for a 12-year-old, I think, back then. And because I liked fiction fantasy, I read a lot of. I started to read on my own, and then I went to college, and I almost didn't get into college because of failing the entrance exam, which I had entrance exams that year. Years before that, there was no entry. You had to be accepted, and then you would just, go to school. But then they started entrance exams, and you had to take tests. And I failed, and I had to go through remedial, and I almost failed the remedial. Then I would have got kicked out of college. But I passed the remedial by a point and was able to stay in college. I had difficulty reading and writing, but I just applied myself. I read a lot. I tried a lot, and I was on academic probation my first semester, 1 point, like a 1.7, 1.8, which is like a D. And then every semester thereafter it went up. And I actually graduated my undergrad with a 3.3, which if you've been to college and you understand, that's very, very high. From to offset a 1.7, 1.8 over the course of I did an extra, I had to do an extra semester because of the remedial classes and stuff like that. And to offset that to a 3.3 is incredible. And then my master's degree, I got a uh, a 3.8. I want to say a 3.88, which is like close to an A plus. Um, so anything's possible. If I could do it, anybody could do it. Like I said, I was basically illiterate. So I guess that's one of the reasons why when I see words, I did a lot of. I used to have to keep a dictionary when I read books because I didn't understand a lot of what I was reading. So anyway, just to cap off that um, an explanation for why I'm so into vocabulary. I guess it's because I had such difficulty with it. All right, God bless. Read those books. And this is episode. What is this? I want to say 528. Uh, yeah, 528. I'll see you in episode 529.